Welcome back to Jasonunleashed, guys. How's it going? Jason Carter here. Thank you so much for watching. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Season 3 is on, you guys. Amazing guest. And today's guest is a fashion icon and runway legend, producer, author, television personality, and just a god. Miss J Alexander is live on the show in just a few. Really excited. Cool guy. Loved him on America's Next Top Model. Loved him in everything he's done across the world. And he's going to be live on the show in a sec. So you guys know the drill. Questions, go ahead and send them in the comments below. I'll try to get to them. And yeah, excited for this really cool chat with someone who's been in the game for a while, has definitely made his mark, not only in television, but in fashion, and also giving back in the world of fashion. Hey, Sil says she loves my sweater. This is old school Zara. I haven't worn this in forever. I actually pulled it out of a hamper that it was in, so I don't even know if it's clean. But I thought I might as well give you a smize moment for the show, since we are going to be talking about all kinds of cool fashion stuff. Hey, Andrea Hambright, hi, New Mexico in the house, love it. Let me say hi to some people before Jay gets in the room. Let's see if he's even said hi yet. Boom. Hey, Luca. All right, Miss J just stepped into the room. Let's go ahead and go live and really have some fun. Miss J, hey Misha, Miss J. The internet, look, Miss J, if your internet's janky, we're gonna have a discussion. Oh, okay, the internet's actually good. you look great. You look good. Hold on. Let me wipe the sweat off my brow. Hey, Miss J Alexander, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Baby. Here we are. Oh, the cities are not sitting right. Child, hold on, let me get everything. Oh.
Yes, here we are. Good to see you. Thanks for being. How's everything going?
Okay, so where are we? Are we here?
Wait, we're here. Wait, the internet's it's slowing down. We're back. We're back. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Bonjour, comment ça va, tellement gros?
Oh, now you're gonna speak French. Okay,
No, because somebody was saying hello to me en France. Just a grand, bonjour, c'est bonjour en plus. Right?
Bonjour. Hey, but again, how's life in New York? What are you up to?
Well, we're all getting over this whole election situation here. Yes. With all the celebrations this weekend, so that was great. Just like kick that off. So hopefully everything goes, promises always made until we get into the White House. So hopefully some of those promises are kept. It's a good thing. I think, Brazilian people are, I'm sure, are relieved that their voices were heard, which is, I think it's good. I think it's good. People are smiling. We still have a lot to deal with, a lot that we're going through with. But that being said, we'll see what happens. We are just, I think, a little bit lost because we're on lockdown. So I think when you're on lockdown or just locked indoors, you don't get to hug and hold people and talk to people, have those conversations that you normally would have in person.
Right.
So it's a little bit difficult sometimes to speak to people, on Zoom, Instagram situations. Just saying. But it's good. I mean, my brain is all over the place, but I'm trying to keep it focused. I mean, it's been a lot in the past few months. We had so much to deal with since last March.
Right.
I mean, thank God for my nieces and nephews who are younger than me, who are out there making their voices heard. So, I mean, I think the entire Black Lives Matter movement has been a huge voice.
It has.
Globally.
Agreed.
Globally. So we thank all those people involved. I've watched from my window. I've gone down when it got a little bit too crazy because they pass my place, quite often. Mm-hmm. But, to give the support, you support any way that you can.
Right.
Be it social media, be it verbally, be it out there screaming, yelling. Voices were heard. and changes are being made slowly but surely.
So I was gonna say slowly, good, slowly but surely. But hey, it's slow change. They say slow progress is still progress, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's, um, in the end, I was explaining to someone the other day, if you're going to hire us black folks and give us a position, not only give us a position, but give us the power to make the decisions that need to be made.
There you go. Yes,
That's the bottom
100%. And that's been and Jay, that's been the conversation and the wish and the want of us for years, especially in fashion, right? Last a couple years ago with Victoria's Secret and plus size models and people not being in the room to have representation to speak to, but the progress is there, the conversations are being had, and hopefully we'll see major change quickly.
If you're gonna if you're gonna give our black ass a seat at the table, goddamn it, feed me.
Right.
And let me and let me eat and let me make those changes. As I said, if you're gonna give us a position, let us make the choices at the table and make some good choices.
Right.
I
Good
mean,
choices.
things are different now. The world is a different place. The world is a completely different place right now. And that's coming from a person who born and raised in New York City, South Bronx. Born and raised, I'm number 7 of 10 kids.
7 of 10, yeah.
Went to school to be an accountant. Got involved in fashion because I like to create things that are different, or I couldn't afford to buy what I wanted. So my mother said, your black ass get a job and go buy what you want. Or I'm giving hand-me-down clothes. I made them look different. So that's where the creativity in me came from. And I think I've always been that person who's been always authentic about, with himself, Why do I seem so dark on my damn camera?
You're not. No, I do too. You're not. Trust me. Once I post this, you're going to be illuminated with some good lighting. Trust me. You look great.
And nothing is wrong with dark people. It's just that as for lighting.
Right. Hey, listen. Being black, we absorb the light, so I'm all for a good lighting. I feel you.
Anyway, so I think right now with the things I've gone through life and taught myself and things I've learned on my journey, traveling was just, I'm not going to be your standard person to follow too many rules. I'll break a few, but I always say when you break a few rules, know that there's consequences that comes with breaking those rules.
Sure.
And
ask for forgiveness later, though.
You know what I say, right, baby? Plan your work your plan.
There you go. Well, working the plan, like I said, you're a fashion and runway icon. 7 of 10. The fashion bug bit you early, but then you've had this career. You're an author. You're a household name, Jay. And you've been dubbed the queen of the catwalk. And I remember specifically when I heard that and when you resonated with me and everything you've done, creating the walk. You have worked with the elite, the top of the top, Tyra, Naomi.
But I didn't work with Naomi. I mean, she was never a student of mine, but I never created a walk. I was just walking. And I was just showing girls how to take their busted up walks and make it their signature walk.
But so with that though, therein lies my question. How did you cultivate your walk, and what went into the power behind your walk? Because everyone has a different one. And is there a right way to walk?
Yeah, the right way to walk is not to fall down. The right way to walk is to let your ass fall the fuck down. Simple. Anyway, no, I mean, I think for me it was just making fun of girls. I was making fun of girls is what I was doing, and making fun of them. I remember watching shows and have to say, oh my God, if this person would just, she's stand up straight. It would be much nicer if she stood up straight, if she walked a little different way. You're nervous. You're wearing high heels, which is a foreign subject on your foot that you probably did a fitting for maybe once, and then you show up in the show, hair, makeup, and there's an attitude that has to go with it. Sometimes you freeze, sometimes you make it happen, sometimes you don't. And it was just feeling the rhythm of the music, feeling the ambiance of the room, and grabbing that moment where all eyes were on you. Mm-hmm. You're just selling a garment. And I would always say, if you're good in one shoe, you can probably get four more. I mean, we want to bring clothing alive, and I think clothing should be born alive, and we need the human body to do that. And we need your personality and character in the garment. That's why I always say to a girl, just give it all you got. It's easy for us to say, girl, tone it down a bit. But when we have to say, go out there and kill it, do your thing. You make mistakes. We're not perfect.
Right.
Turn it into something that's a glorious visual moment.
Right. Visual moments, I think, are what's really happening now when it comes to blackness in fashion, right? We're seeing, I don't want to say the supermodel, because I mean, do you think that the idea of the supermodel is dead? Do you think it's gone?
I think in some people's head, the idea is, for some people, is dead. For some girls who I think would be supermodel, they're out there striving to be that supermodel. They made it express as much. I mean, I think we had with Naomi, Christy, Linda, and Claudia, Cindy Crawford, those girls, they went out and did their thing. But before those girls, there was a whole bunch of girls that only did runway. Mm-hmm. They never did editorial. They never did covers. They were just doing those. That's old school. We're talking about those girls like Katusha, one of my favorite models, God bless her soul. Then you had Iman, you had Dalma. These girls going way back. They were out there really doing their thing. That were looking and capturing audience. And Pat Cleveland, I mean, theater. I mean, you throw clothing up in the air and it comes down something, and whoosh, whoosh, snap, crackle, pop, boom, bam. And so those were the girls who were out there killing it. And it just shifts. I mean, fashion shifts because the public shifts, the wants and needs in fashion shift. The energy shifts of new people that are coming in now that are helping coach girls. Everybody wants a signature walk. I never had a signature walk. So when someone says, we don't want you to walk like that, because I've heard that. We don't want you to put your foot like that, like Miss J does. We want you to walk out and do this way. Don't stand your foot. That's just how I was getting out of that turn. Mm-hmm. That's how I was starting off. My right foot doesn't express, which kind of goes on its own, but I can get from point A to point B without busting my ass.
True story. You said a shift, though. We're seeing more blackness in fashion on the covers of magazines, in campaigns, now more than ever before. Did you think we would ever see that shift? Looking back on how fashion has come into your career.
Well, there was a time when there was a lot of girls that were doing shows, especially in the Givenchy cabine, Yves Saint Laurent cabine, and then they had the whole thing Versailles, with all the American girls went over to Paris, and they had this competition, and the black girls came out and really turned it out. It was like, oh my God, it was this whole big wave. I think the wave now is because of, again, BLM. Yeah. Put the fear of Jesus and the fear of God in folks. And so the thing is it a fad? Or is it just to keep their mouths shut for the moment?
Great questions.
But only those people that are hiring people can answer those questions. I can't answer that question. I'm not hiring them. I'm not putting one. I don't own a magazine. I'm not an editor of a magazine. There's some people who just see the visual as a multiracial visual because most people that are wearing clothing is multiracial. Mm-hmm. So, that are wearing clothing. But, we as Black people come in many different shades and different colors. We're like blooming roses. We go from one extreme to the next. And beauty is in all shapes and sizes. Always has been. But there was the pressure and image of what they wanted for their brand. That's the image that they chose. And then that all of a sudden shifted to when someone sat down and said, hey, there's some beauty over there. Grab it, make it work. Make it happen. It would look good for us. You want to appeal to a multi-racial audience with all types of beauty and all different body shapes and sizes. Sometimes it takes one to do it that everybody else follows. Or it takes something like a bunch of people marching outside your goddamn door telling you this is the change that's needed. Culture, we're raising a culture based on what our parents have taught us and what we learned. But I always say, and I said it to Robert Verdi this morning, sometimes you have to take that guidebook that the parents gave you, and certain things doesn't work for you.
Right. I mean, it's edit, right? And because we're always told, I mean, especially older generations, you're told what to believe, how to be, what you need, what you should do, and you realize as you get older that wait a minute, that script isn't work. I'm not starring in that movie.
Nope, 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 nope. And I think all this that's been happening in the past 6, 9, 10 months, almost 1 year, is reflection of that.
Mm-hmm.
What you did now, I'm 22, 23. What happened, when I was born, that shit is different. We're out here saying we are not going to take this anymore, and we belong. We want to fit in. It's about supporting designers. Well, support your Black designers. No, it's great to support them, but I always say support people, support things because you like it. Support it because you enjoy the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything, but sometimes you need to be forced to open your eyes. But I always say also too, listen with your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you get to see things before you hear things.
Right.
Just saying.
Just saying. It's no secret. And of course, people all over the world came to love you as part of the cultural phenomenon and was America's Next Top Model. How did you make your foray into television from fashion in the industry to the medium that is a small screen?
I slept with Tyra. Just kidding.
Exclusive. Listen, Jay, you come on. Behave.
No, once I did what I did, I was already doing interviews. You know what I mean? About this tall Black guy, American guy, 6'4" with high heels on, teaching girls how to walk down the catwalks in Paris. And it was the person who actually gave me that opportunity, where the marriage of designer and model coach came, was Carlos de Souza from Valentino. And I remember it was Jean-Marie, who was the then husband of Linda Evangelista on Delete. He said, Jay, you can help. I see you backstage helping the girls. You should get paid for that. And I didn't even look at it as a paycheck. I just enjoy helping them out. I would look at them. When your next show, walk like this, stand up straight, and the jacket start from the bottom up. Looks much nicer. If the take the jacket, take it off this way. If the gloves get stuck, so I was doing all these little things and showing them. And I would wait outside the shows after the girls would leave. To the next show, I would give them critique. Someone come out crying because they thought they messed up. They stepped on the dress and they didn't smile or whatever it was. And then Gerald said, coach the girls. So I began to teach them and coach them. And then once I coached them, it just became other girls and other bookers started said, we should go see Jay, he'll help you. And it was like giving them a couple of lessons. I take them to 2 hours of just walking, working at the kinks, what works for them. Another class, maybe, same another day, I would give them a clothing class, right? The high heels, dresses with trains on it, ball gowns, tight skirts. I would put them in those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I would come on and show them how to do it and then put them in it and give them music, opera music, fierce music with a fierce beat to walk through it. That was all part of the class. And then I would go to the shows that they were doing and I would just sit there and I would watch them and, give them critiques. That was great. Next time be better. And that's how it kind of started. It wasn't being mean. It wasn't trying to make a girl walk like me, which was not the case. That someone working at one of those big fashion houses, like Chanel said to a girl, if you work with him, we won't hire you. Shade. But that's, again, Black on Black gay crime.
Right.
And when that happened, it was the girls started coming. And then people began to do interviews. And Tyra was someone that I had, been backstage hanging out with. I've known Tyra since she was 15. It's not like we just met on Top Model. For those who just came around before Top Model was born or came after. I didn't just start when it happened, in the early 90s, when it happened. It was just me again, what was on my mind was on my tongue. And Tyra approached me. Tyra said, hey, the show I did would be really, really great for you. It was a mother who called me, actually. So mom will call me. And I was in New York City working with Lars Nielsen at Bill Glass. And Chara has a show idea, and you had the perfect point. I thought, she came to me and said, this is what we're doing, this is the name of the show. And I thought, okay. And Jason, it happened. I knew nothing about TV other than being interviewed.
Right.
And then being in a documentary, where they were filming, the elite model look contest that I would do. And I would do those contests. I would do them in Praha, in Czech Republic, Slovakia. I would do them in Austria. I would do them in London. I've done those contests all over the place for elite, Korea. And Charles says, it'd be great to bring that element to the show I'm doing. The Weakest Girl gets voted off. Okay, so that's what I did, and that's how it all happened. It wasn't, I didn't audition for it. TV was foreign to me. I'm showing the guys at walk. But that's the music that I want them to walk to. I want them to walk to that music. I need them to get the rhythm. That music that we have, we can't use it. It's just to pay for it. Those things I did not know.
But with that said, you said it was foreign to you, though. I mean, being on TV is a lot. I mean, even doing what we're doing now with like lights and all that, it's a lot for someone who it's not their bag, or it's new to them. Was it daunting? Were there times where you were like, this is the most and it's too much? Or were you just more like, let me lean into this?
I was just doing my thing. Trying not to listen to what they were telling me, like. I'm trying to try the wall. I'm trying to show it. Then you learn with TV. So I thought very quickly, okay, let me make all the girls walk one at a time. I'll make them do, so I started doing things 2 and 3 times. I'll let them walk. And then I would let them walk again. That would give them critique so that they would get that clear. Whatever clear music they had, I would then have to use the clear music so you can get those visuals. And it was, being tough, not being mean. I don't think being tough is being mean. It's like being firm is not being a bitch. It's just like, you got to get this right. We want this to work, what we are doing. And I think, for me, it was when Top Model came along, I did Top Model, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Korea, Vietnam, Canada,
Holland.
I'm sure there's 2 more. Rutski. I did Top Model Rutski, which I did Russia's Next Top Model, and I judged that one. And I did that whole season with Irina Shayk and Vincent McDoom. We shot that one. So everybody had a whole different idea of how they were doing their show, but I would bring that element into the show and watch how they produce. And you listen and learn. You listen, you learn. Like I said, you can learn a lot by just listening as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn something new. You create your own space that they come into, and then we all work together to make great TV. Because it's not about me, and it's about what you're producing.
Right.
But I give you what you need.
And I would say by you giving us what we needed, a lot of other fashion shows, not like Top Model, but in the vein, have, I think, tried to find a Miss J-like type. Like, you created that lane, I think so. And I'm sure a lot of people watching agree, would say that you were the archetype for a lot of these shows that are on now that have a stern judge that is an expert in what they do. Would you agree?
Or outrageous, or an outrageous dressing, over the top, dressing outrageous. The cross-dresser thing, child been dressed in drag since birth. I came out the womb, child, this thing in a sheer, a sheer glassy-like, moment out of the womb at birth. I created those images because I was bored sitting there. I was thinking, oh my God, just get a middle model. Child, she ain't getting it. She don't want it. She ain't trying to middle model. Look. But I was bored with myself, so I'm thinking, what can I do each week? And I would come up with all those ideas, and I would make those with my own two hands.
Mm-hmm.
All those looks, Tara had nothing to do with any of it. She would ask me first day of shooting, Jay, what are you doing? And I wouldn't want to tell her. She was, Jay, I need to know so I can put it into the intro so that people would tune in and pay attention. So from the bow tie that's something this big, that ended up this big, the afro that was down here that ended up this big, the sleeves that started here that ended up that big, you know, the then Ed Hardy numbered jewel T-shirts, the corsage of the first season that became a judge. Each week went out the numbers. I peel the girls' names off. I mean, I think about all this stuff that I would sit there and do, and I would laugh at myself. But that was me being and doing me before the show.
Yeah, you were just living. You were just bringing your experience as Jay to the show authentically.
Yeah.
And I will say some of my favorite looks of yours on the show were always with the flower. I always loved when you had the over the top flower because it was this feminine but distinctly masculine occurrence in your outfit that I would have loved to have recreated in my own life.
It was just, oops, I'm getting my not good chair. Of course, she looked good anyway. No, it's just doing what I had to do and making it all work. And just being creative. I mean, I've been being creative my entire life, and I still am.
Right.
A lot of things I create, you know, when I look at what designers are doing, I'm going, okay, but I can probably do that, go home and make that thing like within a couple of hours it'll be done. You know, but I appreciate fashion on all levels. I appreciate the human life on all levels. Just, you know, to do what one does. I think we all are fortunate to be who we are, to do what we do, in order to just be able to get through life. When people tell me in the street, you know, some of it's kind of emotional for me when they tell me, you know, you helped me be who I am. For me, going to doing television wasn't for me giving you a guidebook on how you need to be as a young gay man. It was just me being me and doing me with no apologies.
Right.
This is New York City. Welcome to New York City.
I love it. You don't hear that here in Miami. It's interesting that you mentioned that people come up to you and they tell you how you impacted them, because in the comments we have Julian Perry and so many people that are commenting about how you've inspired them in the comments below and just celebrating you, and you've been a part of their.
And I appreciate all of that. And it really was. I mean, can you imagine? We do this TV show, you know, about sending models home, and some people had issues with it in the past. You knew what you signed up for. Mm-hmm. You went there, and I say take the experience and run with it. When models come for castings and make the show, or they come to an agency, you don't stop at one agency. You go to several agencies. You go to them, and everyone's not going to like you. You can do all the shows in Milan and do some in New York and some in Paris. You may do great in Paris and do nothing in Milan. It's just supply and demand of what people want. Mm-hmm. There's usually everybody wants the same 25 to 35, 40 girls that are at the top. Everybody wants those girls. But it doesn't mean that you can't go there and not be your own girl, and it happens for you 2 years later. It's sometimes I think it's timing. Mm-hmm. I think for a lot of people. And, you know, sometimes we're misguided when it comes down to people giving information. Everybody wants to make a quick buck. Everybody's a photographer. Everybody is a stylist. Everybody has a job to do. And they want to be seen and heard and out there. And I think sometimes, you know, a little bit longer allows you to stay a little bit longer, meaning longer to get there.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like the overnight success, the flash in the pan, right? When you really cut your teeth and work hard to get somewhere, you tend to be able to revel in it a lot longer than someone who got there quickly or quicker. I mean, everyone has a different journey, Jay, right? Everyone's on a different journey. But it's you. That's a very good point. I'm glad you made that, because a lot of people nowadays feel that success or a career should happen instantly, and that longevity is given, and when it's not.
That's not how it works. I mean, sometimes you don't know how long a girl has been out there before you see her, mm-hmm. because you're going your daily life. You don't see that girl out there back in her hometown in Chechnya are back in Bratislava and Slovakia. You don't see the girl in Rutske, in Mokba. You don't see the girl in the Sudan. You don't see that girl walking for miles to go to school. You don't see her, what she's been doing to get there. Or in South Africa, or, in, Mayotte, wherever she's from, you know what I mean? And I mean, there's been a lot of Senegalese models, and you realize that a girl has paved her way, as you say, cut her teeth, or she's put those heels on, wore a heel down to get to that level. Who's that girl? She's been around. I knew her from that way back in the day. Really? But we're just seeing her now.
Right.
She had been doing that stuff for like 5 years, 7 years before she had success.
Right, exactly. It's like Lizzo, or there's so many stories of successful people who have been in it for a minute, but finally have that pop, and it's like, oh wait, they're new. It's like, no. I'm not new with this. I've just been grinding it out, and now I'm having my moment. Now the universe or whoever is saying, okay, boom, that door is open, walk through it, right?
Yeah. And sometimes the door is open that big, and then the moment it's done.
Right.
There was a time, for Black models that there was a casting sheet, and I still may have it in my apartment in Paris, actually. I hope I saved it because it was something I thought I'd saved. Would have NB for no blacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that when somebody speaks to me about racism here in the U.S., yes, it exists, and it will continue. But I had never experienced it directly here in the U.S. Never been stopped at the police. None of that's ever happened to me in the U.S. But in Paris, I've experienced racism up front, and in Ireland, it's happened. You kind of, oops, okay, I get you, but remember now, they like to fight. Very, very clear.
You're from the Bronx.
If you hit me, I'm gonna hit your ass back. My
Right.
mother used to say, if a motherfucker hit you, hit him back, her exact words. So for me, but you try to, and I always say, as you've gotten older, I try to walk away. And if I can't talk it away, I'll try to walk away. If I can't walk away, then bitches, game on.
Sometimes it bees like that. They're asking if there's going to be another cycle of America's Next Top Model. Would you be open to returning?
Yes, listen, I'm open for the job.
The bag.
And right now, baby, Ty Banks is so busy with America's Got Talent. And can she have more jobs? Can she
Look, what's the name of her production company? Thai Baby or something? She's trying to get all the bags. But we're not mad at the bag. Look, we're not mad at her outfits either.
I'm not mad at anything. When you get it up out there, baby, you put it out there with it. Look, let's be all good to go. Right. But if Tamala comes back, we should do one more. There should be one. She's always wanted to stop at 25, and I think that she should stop at 25. But I say she should bring back all the winners.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, like an all-stars, right?
Or do a universal one.
What would that look like?
Bring all the top models from all over the world, from all the country, all the franchise. Bring back the ones who won the competition as a guest, but bring the ones who were second place, let them battle it out.
Wow. That would be great. And also bring back you, Nigel, Twiggy, Janice. I mean, let's just get it all back. Bring everybody, let's just get a reunion.
Bring us all back. I mean, bring back the entire freaking crew. Mr. J, Miss J, Nigel, Janice, Bo, Twiggy, bring us all back on the show and cause havoc. And that's the big blowout.
And let us all have it. You still are in contact with Jay Manuel. You guys do Jay's Talks on YouTube that started earlier this year, which the fans
I did 5 episodes, and then a conflict. I couldn't do it work-wise, and but that's sometimes you can't do everything.
Right.
Sometimes you can't do everything. Yeah. And but we're in a place right now, I think, where there's a lot of TV up for grabs, but I don't know if it's good TV necessarily. I mean, we all become stuck in what we like and what we accustomed enjoy.
To. Right.
It's what we get used to. And sometimes people don't like change because we become comfortable in what we are and who we are. But like I said, in the past year, there's been a lot of things that made you look within yourself,
Hmm.
look beyond fashion, look beyond what's happening in the workplace, and try to get people to communicate, come together to communicate, and explore new ideas, explore the sexualities. We have the whole trans community that we know we support.
Right.
The
Yes.
LGBTQ, I mean, that's their lives, they're humans. On every level, they're talented. Some of them are smart. And, they're on TV. And that has opened up a door that says that we all can be a part of this.
Hmm.
Billy Porter. He's
Yeah.
just another generation of people,
Emmy
even though
winner.
sometimes also he's reached them, on other levels, um, being Billy Porter, you
Hmm.
know, being Billy Porter, but he's been around for so long. But nobody knows that he's been around working and been working at what he's been doing.
Like we
If you're not a
said.
theater person, if you're not a theater person, you would never know who Billy Porter was because he's theater, he's music. You have rappers at every level. Give you some good rap, some not so great rap. Um, my latest is that I'm loving right now is Le Cali 47. Baby,
I need to get into it.
baby. I heard something a month ago that is Irving.
That's fire.
That's Irving, baby. And I was so into it. And I remember hearing one song from her called Girl Blunt, and that wore me out. Because I'm always thinking about a runway beat.
Yeah.
But coming up with something that I heard recently, I was kind of like, it was a it was a gaggy moment. You know,
What's your favorite song to, like, everyone has that one song they love to walk to. What's your favorite song to walk to?
anything with a rhythm. I really don't have a really favorite song. I really don't. There's a song that I did heard. I don't know if this is Afro-Cuban, um, but I heard it in the Turn You Good video from 1991 or two when they did the African theme for this show. And it was one moment the girls came out, and I thought it was the fiercest thing ever. And I just found out what it was the other day. Actually, I had something. So that is something that La Serpente, but it's Miguez or Meg and Grace. It was, but it's so major, and
Major.
it's all about walking, getting the rhythm and the beat. And sometimes a good model learns how to walk on a runway during haute couture.
Hmm.
It was a different energy. The walk was different than ready to wear. It was completely a whole different way to walk. It's
Oh,
entirely different.
you're freezing. Hold on one second. You're freezing. You're freezing.
Well, I'm still talking and loving and moving.
I know nothing's moving. I can hear you. I can hear you, but you're freezing. Ooh, come on, internet. Come. Instagram be trying to play us sometimes.
Is that on your end?
Who knows? Look, let's do this. I'm gonna go back live again. Let me get this. I'm gonna go back live again, and we'll do a part two. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll be back in a second.